Hi there, it's Jane and Mike from Earth Care Farm, and we want to talk about soil health today. Many of you are first-time gardeners and buying our raised bed mix or our compost or potting soil for the first time. We wanted to make sure you get the best use out of it. It's an amazing product. So there's a couple things we want to talk about. To have a really good quality soil that's going to provide the most for your plants, you want to make sure it has a good physical property, so good tilth and structure, good chemical analysis, so mineral, organic matter, that beautifulness to it, as well as lots and lots of life. So those are three things that come with our pre-made raised bed mix or the compost that you'll add to your existing soil. But we want to talk about why. So these are our raised beds. We have, they're kind of a poor man's raised beds. You'll notice there's no sides to them. The reason we're doing that is so we don't ruin the structure by stepping on the beds. It makes it just clear, oh, this is just for growing, just for root zone beautifulness, so there's no compaction. You want to make sure that the soil maintains that 50% air in the soil, so water can percolate down into the soil, keep the root zone nice and moist, as well as provide air for all those aerobic living beings that are in the soil. And so a sign that you have a really nice, beautiful soil to work with is if there is a lot of life in there. And one thing I was excited about when I was just kind of looking around over here is there's not just the microscopic life that you can't see. I'm going to bring this closer. But there's a little bit of, that's a little mushroom, a little bit of fungi. This little tiny guy here, which is just a sign that this soil is so undisturbed that these higher life forms can grow in it and support this kind of life. There's a lot of beautiful relationships between the mycelium, that are the kind of sort of root hairs of fungi, and relaying nutrition to the plants. And that's what we're trying to do, is maximize those relationships, those connections between the microbial life and the plant root zone, so that we can just get the maximum amount of nutrition into our plants. So that's why we keep these raised beds. That's why you shouldn't be walking directly on that soil or compacting it too deeply. Sometimes I see people plant and then tamp all around the root zone. Just keep it nice and soft and fluffy. You want to be able to reach your hand in there and picture little roots just really getting in there nice and deep easily. Do you want to add anything? He's where I learned it all from. So.
Well, Jane's done a very good job of explaining it. But what we're simply saying is to have deep, fertile soil, you'll have healthy plants. And in my opinion, my measure of success of a gardener or a farmer is someone whose soil gets better year after year after year. This is what the earth needs. We have expansion of deserts on many of our continents. We need good soil. And for gardening, you're a successful gardener if your soil gets better every single year. And the depth and the tilth, good fertile soil, will give you plants. And your plants are your best soil test, in my opinion. That as long as your plants are looking healthy and doing well, and you have a balanced ecosystem, then that's a great indication that you're on the right track.
Flavor is a good indication too. We noticed that the better our soil gets, the tastier our produce becomes. This is a rainbow kale that is just, Cooper's gonna laugh at me who's filming my son, because I always say it's so sweet, it's so sweet, it's so good. And the colors, I'm gonna show you. Look at the color of that. It's just, I mean, vibrantly purple. There's no filter on this film, and it's just so gorgeous. So it's just a sign of really healthy soil, providing everything these plants need. And, you know, taking a soil test is a good idea, but
Sure.
the plants are going to tell you way more than the soil test will. Sometimes I test these beds and they might say the pH is off or too high, but I look at the plants and I say, well, it seems like it's working fine to me. They'll tell me to adjust something, and I listen to the plant. So that's one thing I want to add.
Right, and it doesn't happen overnight. You're not going to have fertile soil in Rhode Island overnight just with a little bit of application of compost. What you need is years and years of doing it, and working with cover crops and green manures. There's a symbiotic relationship to all of this. Can be very complicated, and it can be the height of simplicity.
Also, you could fill your raised bed mix with our raised bed mix, and you just did what 40 years of work looks like. So anyway, we appreciate all the support we've been getting. There's just been so many of you coming to get compost and raised bed mix, and it's just made us feel so good about the direction of the earth and the planet and everybody's health.
It's nice to see a comeback of gardening. We're headed in the right direction again. Thank you.
We appreciate you. Thank you.